who are not, who were not there, maybe absent, or you may have forgot, because we are resuming after so much of break. After a long break, we are resuming. So to create a database, we go here in the browser, and we say here, what should we say here? Can anybody remember? What should we say here to create a database? What should we say here? What should we write here? Can anyone help me? Localhost / PHP MyAdmin. Okay. So when you write here localhost PHP MyAdmin, basically you will be on the page of the server, okay, and wherein you can create your databases. You can do a lot of things to the databases, or you can create, you can update, you can do anything, whatever you want of the databases here. So when you write here localhost PHP MyAdmin, and it will get you here. And in the database section, you can create a database. For example, I'm gonna create a BCA database, and I say create. And then I have, what is the name of that? Maybe I call the users. This is last time we had done it. So there are 4 columns in the users page, and I say go. So it will create me 4 column database, which has 4 columns. So what is the name of the 4 columns? The first is ID, second is name, third thing is email, and fourth thing is password. Okay. It's already showing me there because they were there. So ID, I create like an integer. Name, I create a varchar. Email, I create varchar. Password is a varchar, alphanumeric. And there should be the length of this. I'm going to say 40, 40, and 40. Especially to the password, keep it above 32, because when we do MD5, okay, MD5 does what? It creates a 32 character long string. So it should be greater than 32. So let me create it 40. Otherwise, it will have a problem. And then we will have the default stuff here. But this ID has to be auto incremented. So I don't want to increment the ID all the time. The user comes in, it will increment it. The user, whenever the user comes, it will automatically increment the ID. So I don't have to do anything for that. And it's primary key as suggested here. So let me save this. And what's the name of the database? BCA. Okay. And what is the name of the table? Name of the table is users. So I created, I know, what is that? I created a database. The name of the database is BCA. Okay. And under this database, this is the database, is the user. Users is a table name which has 4 fields like ID, name, and email, and password. So ID, I don't have to worry about it because this will be automatically done by the PHP and MySQL and PHP MySQL working together, basically. And this will be, database will increment it automatically whenever there comes any tuple here. Okay, name, ID will be given automatically, and name, email, and password will stay here. Now I want to write code in the PHP. This is my PHP file, for example, and I want to interact with the database. So MySQL is my database, and SQL is the query language which will be used to talk to the database. Using MySQL, we create a database. Okay, this is my MySQL database where I created the table created the database BCA, but then I need the SQL to talk with the user. Does it make sense? So you have a PHP on this side, and you have to use SQL queries to talk to the database. I'm telling you very, very simplistic way. Okay, this is nothing, very tough or something. I'm telling you very simplistic way, and step by step, we will do all these CRUD operations. Okay. So create, delete, update, and all those things. We will do it in a very simplistic way. So you always need to keep in mind that if it is a PHP, okay, you want to talk to the user. For example, there is a phone. Before talking to the other person, you have to connect. Okay, you have to connect to the database. So if we give an example of a phone, you are on a phone. This is one user, this other user, and you want to talk to this guy. So what are you doing? You are calling him. Say for example, my number 7780909460. These digits in it are actually the address of my phone. Okay. For example, landline. If we talk about the landline for 019424000237, for this is my landline number, for example. So when I say 0, okay, this means actually the Srinagar, and 194 is the code. 0 actually means the India, for example. 194 means Srinagar. Okay. Then 24 means Sora. Okay. Then 00 is the exchange, which exchange is there, the first exchange. Then 237 is the pair of my, in my exchange, my pair has an address of 237. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to locate the recipient. Okay. So whatever you are doing, like in an IP address concept, you want to connect with you're sending an email to a particular person. So how that email reaches to that person, that is the IP addressing, which exactly locates that person. So if you call my landline, you have to exactly tell which country, which state, which city or which area, then which exchange number and which pair in that exchange number that exactly locates, pinpoints my number. Okay. Now, the same way, we have to connect the PHP with the database. Now, where could be the database? The database, you may have hosted your site in some, GoDaddy.com. They host your sites, for example. So your table will be there. So you have to exactly tell where is that database. So what you have to say first? You have to say which machine. You need which machine. So you need a machine address. Where is that machine where my database is? It could be on the internet, on some hosting service, somewhere in a hard drive, their hard drive. So we have to tell where exactly it is. In our case, XAMPP, we have installed the XAMPP. Our database is in my machine C, which is in localhost. So localhost will tell us that my machine, which is the database, is on the same machine I am working, because localhost means this machine. Okay. And exactly knows where the XAMPP has kept it. So first thing I'm telling you where the database is. If it is on the internet, you have to give IP address of that machine, not the local host in the connection string. The first thing will be machine address. So I'm for that saying local host. Or if you are working on a domain, you have bought some domain in some, in some local, then you need to give that IP address of that exact machine. Okay. Then maybe DNS, there's a domain name server which gives some name to your IP address, and you can have something like www. Like we say google.com. Like Google is nothing but a domain name, and that this will be given to the domain name server, because when you say, for example, google.com, this will be given to the DNS, which converts this into the IP address of that machine. So it's nothing but addressing. So when you put up a URL somewhere, something on the top, it is nothing but the addressing of that machine where that page is. Later on, you will have which page you want to. Okay, like here we are saying, what is it in my here? This is a local host. Then there is in the local host the machine address where that machine is. If you see here, then PHP MyAdmin. There is a folder called PHP MyAdmin. There is a folder called dbstructures.php, and then there are these things, and where there is a table BCA table, and table name is users. Table name is users, and database name is DB is BCA. This is exactly telling us where it is. So that is what we have to tell in a connection string, that where that database is and which address, what address that has. In our case, it's very simple. We say localhost because the database stays in our machine, number one. Number second, we located the machine, localhost, we located the machine in the connection. When we want to connect from PHP to the database, the first thing was the localhost, which tells us where that machine is. Now that machine can have many users. You know, there could be many users of the machine. There could be admin, there could be others. You may have created your own user. And if you have bought, hosting service, then you may, because your database is on rent. Now you have to see which user, or you may be given your own username and password. Then you have to write that username here. And right here, I am saying I am on a root user, which is name is the root in the local host. The name of the user is root, and its password is nothing, empty. That's I keep nothing here. Okay. After that, you have to say which database. So database name is BCA. So we keep here the BCA. So this will give me the connection string. So total connection. That means machine address. Okay. Localhost is the machine address. Root is the name of the user there, and password. What is the password there? It is nothing here right now for the XAMPP, and the database name. This is gives me the connection string. Okay. So what I do is I create a variable called a DB where I put this connection string. Okay. Does it make sense? Does it make sense what I'm saying? So when we are connected with the database, then we can use the SQL queries because we have connection. Now we can talk. Our language is SQL. So like you have a phone number, I say this is a phone number 1, and this is a caller, and this is the recipient, phone number 2. Now using the phone number, either landline or mobile number or whatever, you have connected. Now you will talk with some language. Maybe our conversation is English. You are talking in English or Kashmiri or Urdu or Hindi or Tamil or whatever your language is. Now right here, our language of talking or conversation is SQL. So we have the SQL parlance. We have to apply that. Does it make sense? So let's create a project here. Okay. We have already done this part, but I'm just going from the beginning so that nobody will have some problems in it. Okay. So what I do here is this is the MCA thing we are doing in a SJQuery UI. We go to file. I say open folder, and this folder has to be not on a desktop or this. This has to be on a. We will create it in our htdocs. What is htdocs? In C we have a XAMPP. In XAMPP we have the htdocs. Okay, htdocs. Where is the htdocs? Okay, it must be because I have broken my, my lens. In XAMPP, I can't find here is htdocs. Okay, I create here a folder, new folder. We had BCA. Where were we? हम कर रहे थे ना काम कहीं पर. BC के ऊपर मैं काम किया था. I don't know, remember. So I create a new folder called BCA. This is my, okay, rename it. Is this the new folder? Yes. Rename it to BCA. Okay, I got here, this is the select folder. I will say select this folder. Okay, now I got a BCA. This is one. So I may have here firstly the new file. Maybe I call it home.php, home.php. Okay, this is my home folder, wherein I will have the provision to, for all the, whether I want to add, I want to delete, I want to log in, whatever I want to do, everything should be here. Okay, everything should be here on this page. Then when I go to the new page, I can come back to this page. So this is going to be the home page. So I will use the emmet to write the boilerplate, and I call it as a home page. I call it as a home page, or whatever you like to call it. Whatever the site you have. This is just for learning. You can apply the same logic to whatever project you have later on. If it is not running, so I have to use here http://. This is for the live preview, because this thing I have to write in the browser where my page is. Okay, so we put this thing in here in the live preview window, so that we don't have to write it time and again. So this will be here, localhost/bca. Okay, then I had a BCA folder. This is where the thing is. I say done. Okay, and it is opening up. Let us keep it here. It has nothing in it. Okay, it has literally nothing in it, but only thing will be Control S. Okay, only thing which is given there is home on the top. You say home page. The title is coming up, the home page here on the top. Rest we have done nothing. So we have to write our code here. Okay. So what I will do it here is little bit of, using HTML and this, I can use the table tag. So firstly, I will put up the pre tag so that everything will be in a, we don't have any issues with margins and all. Otherwise, I have to use CSS and all. I don't want to use CSS right now to mix up, because I want to make it as simple as whatever I want to teach. Nothing special in it. Just giving it table. Width is equal to say 80%. Put up some 80% table. So if you have forgot the tables, then this is for you. This is the width of the table. And I'm going to say border. Border equals to say 5%. Okay. Okay. Then maybe cell padding. You put up the cell padding. It's not giving me. PADDING. Maybe I have done something wrong or not. Let us see. Of say 10. Cell padding 10. Because it's not giving me. And this is my table tag. Okay. Control S. This is what we got, a table tag here. And in the table, we have rows and columns. Okay. In the table, we have rows and columns. Right. So in a table, what we have is rows and columns. So we try to create rows and we try to create columns. Is there some chat? No. You don't have to create attendance, because attendance will be created automatically. Junaid Farooq. Attendance will be recorded automatically for everybody. So whosoever is there, we don't have to worry about attendance now. And the same attendance will be available in the principal's office on the principal system, or HOD can see on his system. So whatever we do here, it will be visible. The statistics will be visible in the department. Okay, not only me, I will be having it, but everybody will have it. Anyways, so if you have 14 students, if a principal want to see it, how many students were here and how much time they stayed in a lecture, and who said what in a chat window, everything is on record. So keep that thing in mind. With IP address and all. So if later on we have to see if somebody has done something, nasty talks or something, IP addresses will be with that person's chat and all. So table width is 80%, border is 5%, cell padding is 10%. Okay. So we have here then we create a row with the TR. This is my first row, for example. And if I want to create second row, I will say TR. Okay. This is my second row, right? This is the row number 1. This is the row number 2. And in these rows, I will create the columns, right? So I have to create a columns. Maybe the row I create, I call it BG color gray. bg color equals gray. I just don't want to teach HTML, but just for little bit of taste, because मैं बहुत plain कर रहा हूँ ना चीजें, so that but I don't want to do these things, but I have to teach PHP. लेकिन simply थोड़ा सा मैं ये कर रहा हूँ ताकि आपको भी ये रहे. Then we have a TD tag to create the columns. Okay, if you have forgot the table tag, this is the table and this is the closed table. Then there are the attributes of the table, the width, border, and cell padding, whatever you want to do. Then here, this is first row, then it could be second row, or many rows you want. So tr tag rows, and inside the tr tag were the td tags to create the columns. The td is the actual where the data will be. So I'm keeping it as a bold. So I just want to keep it bold. Okay. And inside I will have an anchor tag, which will actually, I want to put up a links here, which can take me to a particular page. Say I say href, okay, equals, I have only here home.php, but I will create. So this is the, maybe you want to create a reg.php, which is my registration PHP. Okay. And then I will close the anchor tag. Okay. And I call it as registration or something. Okay. If you want to register as a user, okay, anchor tag is closed already. And bold tag I have to clear. Bold tag is also closed, and TD is also closed. So I will get more space for it. Okay. Okay, Control S. Now the registration is there, as you could see. So I got the registration tag, Control S. I got registration here, right? As a link. Now I may copy this whole thing. Okay, no, sorry, this thing, I copy this thing, Control D to duplicate this, Control S to save it. But I got the next column, which happens to be, maybe I will say the login. This is my login page. Basically it should be log out, क्योंकि login अलग होना चाहिए ना, ठीक है ना? Maybe this is the log out, and this is the logout.php, logout.php, Control S. So this will be log out, because here we will come only when we are logged in. Okay. Now I got a couple of things here. Maybe I could keep more things in this row, in the second column. Okay, in the second row. Okay, so I copy this whole thing. I copy this whole thing and put it here, paste. And again, I have a tr tag. You could see this is very simple. I'm just making it very simple. This is the tr tag, which creates me the new row. Okay, so if I Control S, it will give me the second row. And inside we have two columns. With the td tag, we create two columns. Okay, and I will have maybe the view. I want, this is the view. We have to create all these pages. Okay, we will create all these pages. So view.php. There may be other guy is maybe add user. Maybe I will say it like this. Add user is my page. So I can say here, hey bro, I want to add a user. Add new user. This is the one of the thing. Add new user, you could say. And this was the view. So I could say view user, view users, or something like that, Control S. So now I got to add new user, I got view user, I got registration, I got logout. I can create another row, another columns here. Then I have to apply the TD here. Or I can create another row, okay, because I have a less space on the right, because I'm putting up more on this, because I have two windows on the screen. So I will keep it like this. Otherwise, you may keep all these on the top. When the top is finished, then you go down. Okay, so I will create another row here, copy, and paste it here. So we got the third. Now this is my third row, okay, using the tr. So tr here, as you could see, not td, sorry, keep it indented. This one, tr. This is the third. What is this third? This is the third column or row. This is the third row, tr tag. Then using the td, okay, I am creating the columns. Okay. So now we said maybe we have a delete user. So we have a delete.php. Remember, we have to create all these pages. This is what we will do in this, and then update.php, delete.php, update.php. So I will say here I will delete user. So this is my delete user, and I gonna update. Say for example, I have already created a user and I want to update my information. So update user. Okay, Control S. Now you could see here, maybe I said delete user, not users. Control S. Now these are all of the pages which I have to create. Okay, we got the register, we got the logout, we got update, we got delete. Okay, we got view, and we got add users. So all of this we have to create. Okay, all of this thing we have to create one by one. But do you understand? So if I go to the registration page, it will go to the, click the registration, it will go to the registration page. Right now we don't have that object. Log out, it should log out. We go to view user, we got to delete user, we got to update user. So this is the job what we will be doing this week. Okay, and that will be the end of the PHP database programming. And I will try to be very simple and everybody, so that everyone, kamzor se kamzor bacha jo hoga, he can do it. He or she can do it. Okay, and I will be also sharing the code with you. I will share the code with you also. I will put this code on the Wise app also, so that you will have a practice. And there will be some kind of assignments also which you have to do. Okay, now because we have a very less time left out, what you will do is your job is, the assignment of today is that you will create this home page. Okay, and then you will do what? You will create these pages, reg.php. So right click new, reg.php, right click new, logout.php, right click new, view.php, add user.php, delete.php, update.php, and so on. You will do that for now. So for right now, I will create the reg.php, which is my, we have done it already. I will try to keep the code same. This is my reg.php, wherein I will write the registration details. Okay, so I have to create a registration things, wherein we have the registration form and all those things. Okay, so for that I will use the PHP HTML boilerplate code. Okay, using the Emmet. Okay, now on the top will be the PHP code, and on the bottom will be that HTML code. So title is gonna be the registration page. So it's gonna be registration page, which is the registration page, which will give the registration of the user. So here in the body, okay, maybe I will create the pre tag first, because what I do usually I create everything in the pre. Then maybe I create the H1 tag. Okay, H1 tag there in the adjuvant tag. I'm saying this is the registration form. This is the registration form, or whatever, Control S. So this is coming like this, is a registration form. Okay, then you can apply the CSS to, you know, make it feel good and all. Okay, we got a few minutes left, so we will create the registration form here today. So I'm saying the form tag. So if you forgot, we use the form tag. In the form tag, we have two things. One is the action and one is the method. The action here I'm saying is go to the same, come back to my page only, come back to this page only. Okay, when you press the submit button, come back to the same page, don't go anywhere, reg.php. Okay, things will get clearer when we do things, and when you do things with me. Okay, post. This is simplistic, I must tell you. This is the simplistic and basic database programming. I am keeping it very simple. I am not teaching you very high things. I am not putting a lot of jargon over it, so the concept will be lost. I'm putting it, you know, kind of a bare minimum, what I am showing you. So everybody can do it, right? So no one among you can say that I can't do it. So everybody can do it. This is guarantee. Okay, this is my form tag. So what I'm saying here is that I'm saying I'm creating a form. In a form, I will create those input boxes and the buttons and all. And here the action says that when you click the submit button here, so where will this page lead to? So it will come back to the same page, the reg.php. What's the name of the page? Reg.php. I'm saying come back to it. What is the method? Method is post. That means whatever the data you have, that will be in a global variable, okay? Because we have got a very super global variables. The name of that super global variables, if you have forgot, is $_post, okay, which is an associative array. We have discussed associative array. If you have forgot that thing also, associative array is which has the key and value pair. So whatever the name of the boxes, text boxes and buttons will be here, that name will be the key, and whatever you have put inside those will come here in the data part. Okay, this will get clearer. When we do things, everything will get clearer. If you have forgot, not a problem, because it's the human thing. We forget things. So I understand that. So I have taught it these things already, but don't worry. I know people forget. That's why I have restarted this thing, whole database programming. I have not resumed from where I have left. I am restarting it from the scratch. Okay. So in a form tag, I just want to first create a username. For example, this is my username because I just want a username. And what's username gonna be? It has to be in an input. And what is the type of that? Type of that has to be the text. So text means give me the text box. Okay. And I have to keep a name of this text box because this is the name which will be then given to the what? The $_post associative array. Maybe I call it username. Okay, username. This is my username. Username ka username maine rakha. And we have kept it required. If you remember that, required. I have kept it required. Okay. And maybe I also need, after that, I need a BR tag to get on the next line. Okay, Control S. Now this is the username and the text box. The username came like a label. You can also use a label tag if you wish. There is a label tag, but I'm saying simply username. This is a username. And then I create an input. Input means to create something. What you want to create is type. Type will tell us what you want to create. I want to create the text. So text box, that's this text box, which can hold something like username and all. And this text box's name is username. So this will be the variable which is created in our associative array $_post. This, whatever the name here is, for example, there is username. So this is the username is the name of this text box. Okay. I will go for here and I say I say Control D to duplicate it. This is one thing, Control duplicate it. This is second. Okay. 3, I need 4 things here. I need username. I need email. Okay. I call it email. I need the password. Maybe I need the password, PASSWORD. Okay. And I need the confirm password. Okay. I need a confirm password. Okay. Okay. So Control S. So I will try to keep it on the same line like this. Pre will help me in this so that I don't have to use CSS for this. Okay. Otherwise I have to use, normally we do CSS for all these things. And normally we put this in a table even. We put this thing in a top table and this will be my one row, one column, and this will be the second column so that there will be no indentation problem at all. Usually we do it in a table. But if I put a table over it, it will make it, a little confused. So main concept will be gone. So this is my username, email, password, and confirm password. Okay. So confirm C here. Get it on the same line. So pre will help me. That's why I'm using pre. Otherwise, I had to use CSS and it will make my code a little messy. I don't want that. I have less than 1 minute. And the last thing what I will have here is an input box. Okay. I'm saying I'm going to have an input. And this time type is not going to be the text. Rather type is going to be the submit. Okay. Submit button. Okay. And name